Very good morning, friends. I hope you're all safe and healthy. Well, this is a video in connection with the previous definition of fair value which we did in Ind AS 113. Let me just remind you that when we were looking at the definition of the fair value, we had a total 4 focus points in the definition. One was with reference to price, and one was with reference to the orderly transaction, one is with reference to the market participants, and the fourth one was on the measurement date. So we've understood the concept of orderly transactions, market participants, measurement date. We've also largely understood in terms of price, but price itself had a total of 4 parameters. One is that price is supposed to be a market-based assessment and not an entity-based. Another input was that price is an exit price and not an entry price. Now there were two small little things which needed attention in terms of fair value, though from an examination point of view one of them may not be very important, but I think the second one could of course be. So what I'm going to do in this particular video, I'm just going to deal with the two aspects in terms of the price concept in the fair value definition. Let's find out. योर विश आर कमांड। सीए फाइनल ग्रुप 2 के अंदर जो इलेक्टिव पेपर्स हैं उनमें इलेक्टिव पेपर नंबर 6E GFRS ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स, इसका एक एक्सक्लूसिव बैच अनअकैडमी पर आ रहा है, रादर ऑलरेडी शुरू हो चुका है। 16 जून से ये बैच ऑलरेडी शुरू हो चुका है, मंडे से फ्राइडे, और इस बैच के टाइमिंग्स हैं 10:30 to 12 इन द मॉर्निंग। सैटरडे संडे क्लास नहीं होगी, और इस बैच के अंदर आपके साथ कवर करेंगे जितने भी आपके केस स्टडीज इंस्टीट्यूट ने केस स्टडी डाइजेस्ट में इशू कर रखे हैं उन सभी को हम कवर करेंगे। इसके साथ साथ एक बम्पर ऑफर भी अवेलेबल है, और इस बम्पर ऑफर के अंदर अगर आप 6 मंथ्स की सब्सक्रिप्शन लेते हैं तो उस पर 1 मंथ एक्स्ट्रा फ्री है, चाहे ग्रुप 1 की लीजिए या ग्रुप 2 की लीजिए। और अगर आप एनुअल लेते हैं 12 मंथ्स की तो उस पर आपको 2 मंथ्स एक्स्ट्रा मिलेंगे, चाहे आप इसके अंदर ग्रुप 1 की लेते हैं या ग्रुप 2 की, या फिर दोनों को दोनों कॉम्बो ऑफर्स लेते हैं। तो किस बात का इंतजार है, आइए लेट्स क्रैक इट। Now, one of the concept related to the definition of fair value when we talk in terms of price is what you call a unit of account. I know immediately the thought comes, so what do you mean by a unit of account? Well, I don't think so. This is a very new term. You might have heard this term even in terms of Ind AS 16. When you look at a property, plant, equipment, that whether we apply a recognition criteria, to a individual asset or do we apply to a group of asset. The same concept is applicable in terms of Ind AS 113, that when you're looking at the fair value measurement, what is the subject matter of a fair valuation? Somebody said earlier that in terms of the fair value measurements, we are looking at the fair value measurement, an asset or the liability is the focus. But is it an individual asset or liability, or is it going to be a group? So that is what we call a unit of account. Well, in terms of deciding that the fair value measurement is going to be done for a standalone asset or a standalone liability, or is it going to be done for a group of assets or a group of liabilities, or maybe a group of assets and liability, all depends upon the other Ind AS. It is the other Ind AS, which requires you to measure the fair value or disclose a fair value, is also going to give you guidance in terms of, are we looking at a fair value measurement in terms of a standalone basis or in terms of grouping. I mean, to take a very simple example, like for example, if you're looking at a measurement of, let's say, a fair value for a given financial instrument, or let's say if you're looking at a fair value measurement of a given, let's say, building, then it is a fair value measurement on a standalone basis. So basically, Ind AS 40 tells me that a given property, which is an investment property, we need to disclose a fair value. So I would need a fair value measurement for a standalone asset. Like for example, if I'm looking in terms of Ind AS 109 that I want to measure a particular investment in a debt instruments, then I am looking at a fair value of the debt instrument on a standalone basis. But on the contrary, let's say if you're looking at Ind AS 36, in terms of Ind AS 36, you're looking in terms of, a measurement of a fair value less cost to sell in terms of recoverable amount of a cash generating unit itself. So that focuses upon the group of assets and liability. So basically, who's going to tell me the unit of account? It's not Ind AS 113 which is going to tell me what is the unit of account for fair value measurement, but it is the other Ind AS which triggers me to Ind AS 113. They are going to decide that the fair value measurement is going to be based on a standalone or a grouped basis. That is called the unit of account. This is one more aspect to be kept in mind. Then there is another aspect in terms of what I said is the para number 11, which talks in terms of restrictions. There are two kinds of restrictions we can look at when we consider the fair value measurement. One is what we call that it is supposed to be entity specific restriction, and one is what we call an asset specific restriction. So if an entity is restricted to do something, like for example, there might be a restriction on the entity, that they cannot use an asset, let's say, for commercial purposes. Now that is a restriction which is not going to be passed on to the market participants. It is a restriction which is supposed to be purely on the entity. Now that kind of restrictions are not taken in the fair value measurements. Because at the end of the day, we are always looking at a fair value measurement in terms of market participants, not the real buyer and seller. And similarly, when we are looking in terms of the other kind of restriction, that is what you call the asset specific restriction. Now, if there are restrictions on the asset being used for a given purpose, then that is something which becomes a characteristic of the asset. Now, those kind of restrictions are, of course, taken in the fair value measurement. So, when you consider a fair value measurements, as I said, that there are two kinds of restriction, because, the kind of restriction, especially when you look at an, asset or a liability specific restrictions, they would, have an impact on the future economic benefits, which you're going to derive from the asset. So, we need to consider these kind of restrictions. So, in nutshell, I think we've reached a level where we are technically, if you ask me, when we started off the journey, we were talking in terms of a three-step procedure in terms of Ind AS 113, and one was looking at the definition. Trust me, today, we have done actually the step number 1 is done. When you look at the definition of fair value, and when you look at the definition of fair value, what comes to your mind is the definition of fair value has got a total of 4 parameters in hand. One is the price, which itself has got 4 focus points to think on. That it's a market-based assessment. It is supposed to be an exit price. We need to consider a unit of account for its measurement, and we need to consider the asset-specific restrictions and not entity. And then the focus comes in terms of it has to be an orderly transaction. Then it comes in terms of who the market participants, their characteristics, and the measurement date. So this technically, the series till now covers the concept of what is a definition of fair value, but there is more in terms of the measurement aspects. Now, a lot of measurement aspects have been covered up, but there is more in terms of some guidance given on the measurement aspect, especially when it comes to the non-financial assets. There is more to do with the valuation techniques. There is more to do with the inputs. I mean, it's a plethora of huge level of things which are given in the standard. But I think at least the first step is done, and the first step is always necessary to move on to the next step. So that's all for this particular session. See you. Thank you. Bye-bye.